Hi everybody. Today I would like to give you some background information on American Indians before European contact. I would also like to share with you the state of the world before the Americas were discovered and what led to the Americas being discovered. By the end of this screencast, you should be able to list basic facts about pre-contact American Indians and also describe the spice trade and how it led to European discovery of the Americas. Like I said before, I would like to start by giving you some background information about American Indians. Many people assume that pre-Columbian North America wasn't very populated. However, millions of American Indians inhabited the area that would become the United States. Approximately 30,000 years ago, the Paleo-Indians, ancestors of the American Indians, followed herds of animals, including woolly mammoths, from Siberia across Beringia, a land bridge connecting Asia and North America, into Alaska. Over time, these people spread across North and South America. During the thousands of years preceding European contact, the American Indian people developed creative cultures. American Indians consisted of many different groups or tribes, as you can see here in this map, each with their own unique culture or way of life. American Indians cultivated plants for food, dyes, medicine, and textiles too. The Chippewa made a toothache medicine from a variety of the lady slipper. In case you didn't know, the lady slipper is Minnesota's state flower. Corn was a staple food in many American Indian tribes. Some American Indians also hunted animals such as moose, elk, caribou, deer, antelope, and buffalo too. They ate the whole animal, not just the muscle meats like we do today. American Indians also established extensive patterns of trade among each other. The tribes of the Mississippi River and the West were linked by a web of trade relationships before European contact. You can see these relationships here in this map. Prized trade items like shells or turquoise were located hundreds and in some cases even thousands of miles from their origins, and this just showed how extensively they were traded. American Indians also produced impressive architectural structures. For example, the Mississippi mound builders built mounds to bury their dead and platforms for temples. You can see some of these mounds in the top picture. There are still remnants of these mounds today. You can see some of these remains in the bottom right. In the bottom left are pueblos. These pueblos are buildings that were carved into cliffs by American Indian tribes in the Southwest. American Indian tribes also developed unique and intricate systems of religious beliefs. Traditional American Indian ceremonial ways can vary widely and are based on different histories of belief of individual tribes, clans, and bands too. Theology may be monotheistic, which means having one god, polytheistic, which means having multiple gods, or even animistic, which means that animals and plants have a spiritual essence. It could also be a combination of any of those. Traditional beliefs are usually passed down in the form of oral histories, stories, and rely heavily on face-to-face teachings in one's community and family. American Indians also constructed a wide variety of systems of social and political organization. For example, among the Plains tribes, organization was loose and democratic, whereas in the Northwest, social organization and religion were closely interwoven. Here in this picture, you can see the social structure of the Iroquois. The tribe was divided into moieties, moieties divided into clans, and clans were divided into families. So one can see that when the Europeans discovered America, it wasn't really discovered at all. Europeans found an area of the world that had already been inhabited by many groups of people who had unique and complex cultures. Now we're going to switch gears and talk about world trade and what led to the Americas being discovered. The age of exploration started in the 1400s. Europeans were desperate to get spices from Asia. Spices were necessary to preserve foods and keep them from spoiling. Spices, however, were also expensive and very dangerous to get. Traders had to travel to parts of the dangerous Silk Road, shown here in this map. It's a land route from Europe to Asia. Because the Silk Road was frequently closed due to various wars, European rulers began to pay for explorers to find a sea route to Asia so they could get spices more easily and also for cheaper. Portugal was the first European country that sent explorers to search for a sea route to Asia. Sailors eventually began to make their way around Africa and through the Indian Ocean to India. Spain, however, would soon take the lead in exploration. When Portugal refused to finance Christopher Columbus's idea to sail west to find a shortcut to the Indies, he convinced Spain's King Ferdinand and Queen Isabel to finance it. On October 12, 1492, Christopher Columbus and his crew reached the island of Hispaniola after 3 months in the Atlantic Ocean. Although Columbus believed he'd reached Asia, he'd actually come across the entire continent of North America, and he claimed it for Spain. So, let's recap what we've learned. American Indian tribes were unique and had complex societies and cultures. Also, the spice trade is what led to an increase in exploration and the eventual European discovery of the Americas. Thanks for listening and hope you learned something.